tell me.
No.
Only that I do.
Thanks.
Sargon! Up here!
Take the prince to the Simor gate.
Anahita! Don't you dare harm him!
If you want Prince Hassan back, come and get him!
Anahita! Anahita was here. She's taking Hassan to the Simor gate.
Then Artaban may be right about her wanting the throne. That thing above us. What is it?
I'm not sure. But to get to Hassan and Anahita, we must destroy it.
From this distance, that's not possible for either of us. Maybe Menelaus can help here. Varam sent him to the east to investigate the forest.
I'll try to find him.
I'll look for another way.
What brings you here, traveler?
My allies and I are in pursuit of a traitor.
Then you and the others are trapped here, too. Mount Kaf has seen its share of travelers. Many are lost within the... Beware, warrior. Death and misery roam.
I've seen my share of death.
Even the most determined of warriors must be prepared. Its unique properties will aid you. Just know that each one is precious and can only be changed at a whack-whack tree.
I'll make good use of this.
Welcome. Welcome. Welcome.
Artaban.
Sargon. Varum saw Anahita's guards, and he's in pursuit. As for me, I cannot continue. Time flows differently here. My mind is playing tricks on me. I can't discern the truth from the imaginary.
Artaban, thank you for being honest with me. Does this mean you're retreating?
I'm not giving in just yet. I intend to serve until my last breath. After all, if Anahita really has changed loyalties, I believe you're short of a sparring partner. Let's warm up and review the basics.
The basics again.
Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. Get in position. Show me how you chain ground attacks. Very well. Bear in mind you can redirect your next attack. Since you propel your opponent away with your last strike, that's the end of the chain. At close range, the sweep is good against smaller foes. You can also chain attacks afterwards. An airborne enemy cannot retaliate until they're back on their feet. Make use of that.
Perfect to cripple agile enemies.
Remember that you move forward with each attack. If you want to keep your distance, the sweep allows you to maintain your position. This doesn't suit your style, but some situations might require you to take such precautions.
Precautions? What
My point exactly. Do you remember what I told you about propelling enemies up in the air?
An airborne enemy cannot retaliate until they're back on their feet.
At least that got in your head. Let's go over your upward attacks. Use them to hit targets above you, but also to propel ground enemies in the air. A word of warning. Using the same upward attack twice in a row will lessen its effectiveness. You can also use an upward attack in a fighting combination. Be sure you're within range to strike. through with your attacks lets you stay in the action. Remember, Rashaba. Even a constant wind can carve a mountain. Now then, the forward slide. It's a chance to engage with an offensive advantage.
Closing the distance. That suits me.
Now let's combine everything. Chase the enemy mid-air after your upward attack. Vary your upward attacks. The same one twice in a row will not give you the same propulsion.
I understand.
Do you remember what I told you about propelling enemies up? Let's use... Now for a specialty of yours. Acrobatic techniques. Ready for the next lesson?
I'm always ready.
You know about mid-air combinations, but there are other options. Try to reach the flying enemy.
Easy enough?
You cannot chain attacks after this move. Alternatively, you can aim at enemies directly below you. Mind your position.
Now that's a new way to lift up the enemy.
You can send the enemy up even higher with aerial combinations, rather than sending the... This technique is valuable. You can save on time or throw your foe towards environmental hazards. Should you see a use for it, you can also send them crashing into the ground, if you prefer.
If I rush to the ground afterwards, I can maintain my flow before they get back on their feet.
For that, you know more than I do. I'm past the age to perform
Huh.
Sargon.
Athra flows through the... as much as...
Precisely. Athra can be... Athra... Look at you. I can see your Athra radiating. You've embraced the teachings of our ancestors. You've come a long way since I met you. But mastery... Now then, focus your Athra in the...
Right in between moves. I'll give it a try.
You see that? It's effective at annihilating enemy defenses. And if they do not break, they will certainly be weakened. Are you also able to do that in the air?
I've practiced the technique to crush targets from above. I'll show you.
Perfect. These are strong attacks, and they knock back the enemy, marking the end of the combination. With proper training, Athra, the everlasting blaze. No fighting style rules above all. The greatest combatants understand adaptability. Knowing your opponent's strengths is key to bringing them down. Take massive opponents, for example. They react differently to upward attacks. Give it a...
My strikes knocked them back, but they're too heavy for me to lift them off the ground.
Worse still, some opponents can ignore the recoil of your strikes because of their build or magic. You must be vigilant, as this means they can counterattack during your fighting combinations.
Are there even worse enemies out there? None of my attacks have any effect on them.
Not showing signs of pain doesn't mean they didn't get hurt. And careful what you wish for. The Citadel is full of mysteries. We're not out of the woods. And one more thing. Some enemies can recover while you're in the middle of your combination. Some can parry your next strike, cutting short your chain of attacks. You can find out for yourself.
I see more and more the benefit of sending the enemy up in the air whenever that's possible.
But you know that's not always possible. The best defense is not always offense. A warrior who throws...
It's not the first time I've heard you say that.
The goal is to structure combat in your dodges. Your last strike in a ground combination does not allow these actions. The price to pay for power. You can also end your combination early with a jump. While in the air, you can dodge by doing a backflip. Jumping, while chaining attacks, can also be used offensively. Parrying is the best defense against a head-on attack, turning the table in your favor. Not all attacks can be parried. If you're attacked from both sides, escaping is your best option. Parrying and dodging are not unique to us, Sargon. You can... You're after it.
I could do this all day long.
Attacking from behind is also advantageous, and even more so when the enemy... against fast foes. They may turn around and punish your attempt at a sneak attack.
Only if they can match my speed.
You can kick while sprinting to propel the enemy into the background.
And to make a loud...
Sprinting allows you to close the distance. You can still perform an upward attack.
Artaban, I want to...
You've learned well. As you may have discovered, projectiles can... do be... some move. Few enemies are able to recover from your...
Actually, I named them downburst counters.
Whatever you say.
I wish I could parry any attack.
You know that's impossible, even for me. Fortunately, your senses are sharp. You'll know in advance if an attack can be parried or not.
This isn't the whole day's lesson, right?
There is a lesson in every failure. Did you see the effect of the hit you took? That's what you get when you miss a parry and pay for it. Getting hit this way is particularly dangerous, and your Athra focus takes a hit too.
Well, I can feel it in my jaw now.
It's by just
Athra surge.
Get in position. Conversely, taking hits will break your focus and your Athra will dissipate. Riskier. Try. Keep in mind that dodging is safer, but it will not build up Athra. Parry whenever you can. Let's talk about the Athra surge, since it's useful. Every warrior prides themselves on developing their ultimate techniques. But you can keep in mind that fine work. You now know all the basics. Don't forget, if you learn...
Welcome. Well
Good to see you.